Howdy, and welcome to the MrMaple Show. Today is the 10 at 10 for January 9th of 2025. We're going to talk about 10 of the 20 trees getting listed today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on MrMaple.com.
Now guys, we can hold orders, but you have to send us a request first. We don't hold orders. We ship 5 days of the week automatically. Now, if you want an order held for spring, put a note on the order when you check out. There's right there on the very first page when you add to cart, you could add a note for spring shipping, or you can contact our office right away. We do continue to ship 5 days a week here at MrMaple all year long, so a lot of great plants sent out this week. Let's get right into it with Acer Pomatum Oyaki.
Oyaki is a selection that was found by Neil Ramsey, Neil Facillo, whichever name you go by. One's a stage name. Y'all, this is a nice cascading green lace leaf. It's got some nice spring color in the early spring. And if you push this tree with a little bit of sunlight, it's more yellow.
Awesome plant, lovely purple border to it in the early spring. Typically a 4x4, great container plant, very heat tolerant. Really enjoyed the fall color too. Deep golden yellows to oranges. Just an all-around great plant. I think you're going to love this one in the landscape.
The fall color is just outstanding though. I know Talon got this in production quite a bit after we sent him a tree because he loved how just it gets that really nice pink-orange kind of color in the fall. Guys, next up we've got Acer Sabol Kumiski.
Lovely variegation, Kumiski. Just absolutely cool. I love this kind of swirling variegation it has to it. It really gives it a next level, especially on that larger round leaf to it. And it's a small upright, typically around 6 foot in 10 years. But really the variegation is so next level.
Yeah, the white swirling on that green can get almost even like some mint colors in there as well. It's got that full moon style leaf. It's one of the few variegated full moon style Japanese maples. Acer Sabol are some of my favorite trees. Go check out we did a whole breakdown on Acer Sabol and Sabol and all that. Go check that out on our podcast about Sabol. Y'all, this is one of my favorite Sabol. I mean, it's just got a nice habit, very upright, and the fall colors, in that fall color, you can get some pinks and oranges.
Great. All right, y'all, we're bringing back some small 1 gallons of Acer japonicum fairy lights. Now, this is the slowest growing Acer japonicum, small, compact, from Yamina Rare Plant Nursery in Australia. This one's one of my favorites. All that you love in a japonicum and a really small, compact habit. This one looks great in a container garden, a small fairy garden. Those red tassel flowers really add a lot in the spring, and amazing fall color.
And it's perhaps one of the slowest growing Acer japonicums of them all. We've actually got some older specimens of this at the Buckholtz farm where we do a full cultivar breakdown. It's got one of the best fall colors though. I mean, you get yellows, oranges, and reds at the same time, which make this tree it just lights up the garden. And that's where it gets the name of fairy lights, because it has that dense, compact habit and that great fall color.
I think one of the more fairy-like characteristics for this one, that small, dense habit, typically 2.5 by 2.5 feet wide, even in 10 years, is those red tassel flowers. I think it really has an elegant look being a lace leaf japonicum, so you have that thinner foliage already, but then those red tassel flowers that adorn it really give it a unique look.
Next up, guys, we've got Acer Pomatum Terama.
I first saw this one in Yano's book for maples, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. Now, I definitely include this one in the Makawa family. It's tight, it's dense, it has a larger leaf to it. So the leaf on this, maybe you're more familiar with something like Kurinajishi, but the leaf almost reminds me a little bit more of Kurinajishi in the structure of the leaf, but the density will make you think Makawa Yetsubusa. Typically a pinkish hue in the early spring, going to a light mint green. I absolutely love the structure of this. It is a little faster growing than Makawa, typically around 6 to 7 foot. Even in 10 years, a small, dense upright.
Yeah, and it's got that twisting leaf to it, which gives it a unique texture out there. Good red fall color as well. Terama is one of those trees that sells out really quickly on MrMaple.com. Make sure you check out quickly because our website doesn't hold it for you until you complete that checkout process.
Awesome plant. We'll definitely go through these today. Terama looks great in a pot. You can put this out in a planter to let it do its thing. Absolutely next level. No Makawa collection's complete without Terama. All right, y'all, next up, we've got one of my favorite winter interest trees. It's Acer Cercinatum Pacific Fire.
Now, Pacific Fire gives you this bright orange-red bark that is really striking. I mean, especially in those winter months when it drops its leaves, the bark is one of the most intense colors, and you see that not on the new growth, but also on some of the older bark as well.
I'll say the Cercinatum coral barks are some of the best at holding the bark on the older growth. Really a showstopper for the color. Lush green foliage in the spring. I've seen reds, yellows, and oranges the fall color all at the same time. So you get something a little next level for a coral bark with it being a Cercinatum. Large round leaves on this one. Really, the winter months are the showstopper though. I love the bark on this one. It really creates a almost more neon bark interest for it. It's almost orange red picked up color, especially in those winter months.
In your hotter climates, give it some morning sun with protection from the hot afternoon sun. The morning sun will brighten up the bark color. The afternoon sun will really get the best growth rate out of our Acer circinatum.
All right, guys, next up, we're bringing back an Area 51 introduction. We've got Kristen Star. Don't mess your spring up by missing out on Kristen Star, guys. It's one of my favorite spring interest plants. No springtime garden is complete without it.
Yeah, this was a chance seedling that was found by Bill and Kristen Taylor in Spartanburg, South Carolina, introduced by us here, Mr. Maple. When he took us and showed us the original Kristen Star, short, spreading out. I mean, it had a caliper like this, but it was only, probably about 4 feet tall. And
absolutely phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And the spring colors are some of the best of any of the spring interest Japanese maples. To me, everyone always talks about Akane, how great the spring interest is. You get all that with Kristen Star as well, but without all the problems that Akane has.
Right. Lovely plant, ruffled leaf, yellows and oranges in that spring garden. Holds very well. Great orangey red fall color as well. Multi-stem, so the tree wants to be short and wide. Give it some room, let it fill out. Typically, 4 to 6 foot tall, 4 to 6 foot wide. Very multi-branched approach to that, so it looks great in a container. Kristen Star, you've heard us talk about it a lot, but man, it is a showstopper. And I joke with you, but really no spring Japanese maple garden is complete without Kristen Star. Everything you love about Akane, but durable and better. All right, we just had Baby Ghost. Let's bring back Dark Ghost, a rare member of that original Ghost series.
Yeah, this is one of those selections at Talon. It's probably the last member to the Ghost series. And it's got that dark coloration, one of the deepest, darkest colors, but still, it gets that purple color with that reticulated veins.
Yeah, this also has a darkly chocolatey colored bark too, so it even adds to that darker aesthetic of the tree. Dark Ghost has, almost black foliage. It's really, really dark, but you also get that very, very dark brown, almost chocolatey colored bark. Just adds the overall aesthetic. And you can put this next to Kristen Star, and they're two ends of the spectrum. That neon orange and then that dark foliage here. Absolutely love it. Typically around 8 foot in 10 years. Nice upright tree. And again, the reticulation on this one is really nice.
I mean, I say pair it with a summer gold or a golden falls or a hot blonde, and you're going to really play off of that dark color, brighten up the space, and they play good color contrast. That's the name of the game of most gardening, is just color contrast, and that gives you something fun and interesting out there.
How about some instant gratification sizes? You rarely see this offered this size. Buckholz grown, big guys. We're bringing back Acer Pomatum Benny Hime. Now Buckholz Nursery, there in the grounds, has the biggest Benny Hime I know of. This one is a dwarf compact red, almost reddish yellow in the early spring. You get so many crazy colors going on in this one. Make sure it's got good drainage for its durability. I absolutely love this plant though.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you get that sort of weird color you get out of Corallinum, but in a dense or compact form. Benny Hime, slow growing, make sure you give it plenty of good drainage. The number one problem I see with people in Benny Hime is overwatering. That's true in the ground or containers. Make sure you've got good drainage.
And no late fertilizer.
And no late fertilizer. You don't want to have this tree being very active going into winter. Y'all, very dense and compact.
Look at the sizes on these already.
You rarely see 3 gallons this size. Again, these are going to sell out quick, so check out fast.
Yeah, I love this in the spring. You can get some kind of yellow hues behind like a almost Shinda Sojo-y pink red, but in that dwarf compact habit. If you're a Kiyo Hime fan, look no further than Benny Hime. One of the coolest plants you'll find. And guys, these sizes are phenomenal. I mean, 1 gallons of these sell out. 1 gallon of these would sell out on eBay. Grab you some of these big 3 gallons. They're really nice.
Y'all, next up, we've got Acer Pomatum Green Strap.
Ah, this thing's great. I wish it had a name that incorporated the fall color. I think this is one of the best fall color palmatums you'll ever find. It's got a unique leaf already. It wants to be very multi-stemmed as well. Like a 6 foot tree wants to be 4 to 6 foot wide, very multi-stemmed and dense. Kind of plateaus out. It reminds me of a unique shape. Like it doesn't quite have the same shape as like Oregon Sunset, but it wants to be a small rounded U a little bit. Really cool, really different in structure. Guys, I've had phenomenal oranges, reds, and yellows on this thing in the fall. I think one of the best palmatum fall colors.
I think it's kind of like if Seiryu and Kamagata had a baby. Because it gets out there, it's got great fall color, and it's got that sort of Kamagata style leaf, and that kind of a little bit slower growing, and it's that nice rounded habit as well. To me, it puts on a multitude of colors. It's better than the first name, which was Verde Lace on this tree, and they got renamed to Green Strap. Y'all, an awesome tree, great fall color, and just a unique texture in the garden.
Absolutely phenomenal plant. Grab you a Green Strap today. I love this plant. I think it's great in a container because of that shape. but also it's so heat tolerant, so durable, and you're gonna get a phenomenal fall color plant as well. Like, it's interesting in every single season, but for me in the fall, this one steals the show. Check out these large 2-gallon Kuronagishis.
You know, Kuranagishi, the red lion's head, a dense compact form, twisting leaf. This is one of those trees that used to be the item like Mayday that everyone was after and they couldn't get a hold of. We've been trying to offer them more and more, and now we're offering them in some good 2 gallons.
Instant gratification. It's the red lion. It pairs great with Shishikashira. Pairs great with everything. I think no Makawa collection. I don't put this in Makawa family, but I've got this in my Makawa garden. No Makawa collection is complete without this one either. Absolutely love the colors on this one, that dark red. Now for me, it looks the most like the Shishikashira in the fall. You get some incredible oranges with reds and yellows mixed in there. It's a phenomenal container plant. And guys, look at these sizes. I mean, these are great looking 2 gallons, Buckholz grown, ready to go out in your garden right away.
And it pairs great with that Terama we mentioned earlier. Similar style leaf, similar style habit. Y'all, an awesome upright tree that's gonna give you some of that brick red color that is just unreal. Like some brick red reds that are just very unique and different. That's not your maroons. For the red lion's head, this is an awesome selection.
Guys, it is too cold. I am ready for spring. It is just around the corner. We're shipping 5 days a week here at Mr. Maple. We greatly appreciate your continued support right now. And if you do want spring shipping, you can always note that or let our office know right away. But we can accommodate those requests as well. Thank you so much for shopping today on the 10 at 10. Again, this is just 10 of the 20. There's another 20 trees in email. Make sure to go check your email, sign up for those. These will be listed at 10 a.m. Eastern today on MrMaple.com.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.